Hey guys, and welcome to the Hobby News. Alright, so I'm back doing some more of these videos. It's been a while. I needed a bit of a break to do some work on my Blight of God stuff, my own brand, and a few other things. But that's all underway now, so that's pretty good. And I can get back to some of these news vids, because there's been a lot of exciting releases that I haven't had a chance to cover. But they're looking pretty cool. You know, we've got Leagues of Votan and Corn stuff and a bunch of things. But I couldn't pass up this opportunity. I was either going to start this week or next week. And they showcased this new Underworlds, I guess, season. And it's got a warband that's obviously something that I love. If you've seen anything on the channel, you know that I enjoy Undead and all that sort of thing. My own personal brand is based on it, on necromancy and Undead, so it's a great subject matter for me, and I really enjoy it. And we've got a really cool little warband to look at, plus another one as well. But the main thing I think that's really cool about this is the skeletons. But we'll look at them in a second. So let's get right into it. So dive right into the war for Gnarwood's Warrens in the new Warhammer Underworlds season. So yeah, so we've got these sort of I guess, very sort of Conan the Barbarian style kind of warband there. And then we've got some Undead as well, but we'll look at those in a minute. There's a new season of Warhammer Underworlds inbound, and it looks well gnarly. Okay, your fast-paced bouts of competitive arena combat are headed to Gur in the forthcoming Warhammer Underworlds Gnarwood set, where warbands clash in colossal root caverns beneath a man-eating jungle. These halls of twisted fauna and carnivorous plants are the backdrop for a struggle between howling berserkers and long-dead royalty, with 100 ways to die standing between you and untold riches. Okay, cool. So we've got another box set, and obviously you'll get, your board and so on. I've had a chance to play some Underworlds now, and it's pretty fun. So if you're curious about Underworlds, it is pretty cool. I'm going to do a in the hobby chat video on that at some point in the future on a few different sub games. So look out for those. There'll be some nice new minis that I'll be painting alongside those discussions. Or at least new minis for me. I don't know whether there'll be new release ones or not, but you know what I mean. So that should be pretty cool. And yeah, then we've got the new minis. So let's take a look. So yeah, these are going in line with a lot of the, I guess, Conan-y or Barbarian-y sort of models that they've been doing lately for also Warcry as well, and these fit right into that sort of theme. Looking really cool. I really like all this new stuff they're doing in that sort of, I guess, chaos cultist kind of thing, or at least these guys are definitely on the chaos road, right? They're got a lot of the decorations that you would assume would be a chaos worship. Maybe they're not, but they kind of look it to me, so that's pretty cool. But great for conversions and all sorts of things. These Underworlds warbands are awesome for that, right? They're a great bunch of models. I mean, look at this guy. He's great, right? He's got all the things that you want. He'd make a great Khorne character. There's so many good things you could do with this model. It's just really he's got all the things that you want in a grimdark Warhammer model. He's got the big hammer. Everything's good. Great expression on the face. We've got some really nice little extras here. I mean, yeah, this is a cool warband. Lots of character. I like this as well, with this sort of boar, or I think it's a boar kind of mask here. Some really interesting ideas. Very sort of almost horror movie looking sort of thing. That might be where they're getting their nod from. It's got that sort of vibe to it. There's a lot of really interesting things going on with these models that are fun. We've got the classic sort of stuff here as well. And yeah, I mean, anyone that's into this sort of aesthetic is going to be happy with these. They're pretty cool all around. And easy to paint, right? You've only got a few models, and then you're done. You can start playing some games. I think I've got like several of these warbands done now, and it's a really cool feeling to get them on the table all painted, right? It's one of those few games where you can actually do that relatively quickly, as opposed to something like AOS or 40k. So yeah, let's come down now. We get the real juice here, right? This is the best one. These are just great. These are dripping with character and a lot of fun, a lot of smiles, a lot of grins, a lot of Skeletor looking characters here, and that's all fine by me. That's really good. Love the blue greens here in the cape and the nice faded colors. We've got the tactical rock here, which is pretty rare for, I guess, a skeleton warrior to have a tactical rock, but he's big enough and bad enough to warrant one. So we've got one here with the little skulls in the inside and so on. Nice crown on his head. I mean, these are very classic sort of style aesthetic for skeleton warriors or wights or whatever you want to call them. And they're really good. They'll fit nicely in amongst all the new designs for Soulblight and so on. If you want to do conversions, this would make a great White Lord or any of those for your AOS games. Yeah, really fun. If I can, I'll try to pick these up and do some for the channel, because they look like they'd just be great to paint. These here as well with the double-handed weapons. Love that helmet, the bowl helmet, with just poking out underneath the face. We've got some classic designs here with the wings on the helmet. This is very like Graveguard style. That's really cool, but in a very similar pose to their current Skeleton Warriors. So there's a lot of aesthetics that are carrying over here, which are quite interesting, that they're managing to get that in. It's not totally new. We've got some design which is already established, and then they're sort of sprinkling it with some new ideas. The shield designs and so on are new. We've got, just a lot of little interesting little details here. Some of these helmets are nice. I like the closed helm with no visor. There's some really interesting little models here, and I think that overall it's a really cool group of skeletons. I definitely want to try to pick these up. So if I can, money willing, I'll definitely do some for the channel, because that's right up my alley. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be exciting. I like the addition of more undead. I think that's great. I think that there's a lot they can do there with those. And from a sculpting point of view, these are always fun to sculpt. I'm sure the sculptors had a good time with them, because I definitely enjoy doing it. It's one of those ones where there's a lot of free room to explore ideas and get into some of the tropey stuff that I think when you're doing Undead, you kind of get away with it. It's not as I guess, like the tactical rocket, the eye rolling thing. You can sort of do more of that stuff with Undead, because you expect it and it's fun. And it's that sort of like Army of Darkness thing, where you've got that sort of humor there with the skeletons, that you can go into that little campy side of the Undead, and it's still cool. People still like it. You're not gonna hate on it. So yeah, all in all, pretty fun. Let's see if they got anything else to say about it. So the Sons of Velmorn called this region home long before the Gnarwood consumed it, keeping the jungle at bay with fire and steel. The Age of Chaos spelled doom for their dynasty, but thanks to the necromantic tyrant's crown, the fight to protect their long-fallen realm continues. King Velmorn is the linchpin supporting his the linchpin, I guess, supporting his Graveguard sons. Okay, so they are Graveguard, whose sibling rivalry drives them to one-up each other and crash over enemy warbands as a cohesive whole. Okay, cool. So we've got like a bit of a Graveguard sort of rising. That's interesting. So we don't have like a vampire leading these. It's all skellies here, which is kind of cool. I mean, they might have vampires later, I guess. This definitely looks very vampiric on the cover here. So we might see some more. That's pretty good. So the new core rulebook has been specially designed to help new players dive right in, presenting separate sections of advanced rules for experienced players. Everything you need to play Warhammer Underworlds at any skill level is right here, including games with up to 4 players. Okay, cool. The quick and convenient Rivals deck are the star of the box, launching you and your friend right into the action with pre-constructed decks of gambits, upgrades, and objectives. Each warband starts with their own tailored deck, and 2 more universal Rivals decks are included to shake up the game. The new options with new options and strategies. These 2 other decks can be used by any existing Underworlds warbands. Okay, cool. So we've got some, I guess, some additions there, so you can do your more like tailored decks for advanced play, and some introductory decks. That's good. It's always nice to have a nice easy road in, as I've talked about. Well, not yet anyway, but you'll see on the channel. We talk about all of this subgame stuff, and sort of, I guess, the nature of it, and how overwhelming it can be sometimes taking on more than one game system. And it's good that they're trying to give you easier ways to get into it, because it is something to consider when you're thinking about getting into another game. Advanced players still have the full deck building experience at their disposal, and new challenges posed by the Gnarwood setting will change the game for even the most seasoned explorers. Okay, cool. Yeah, nice. It's a good setting. It looks like we'll get some more Undead, which is great. Always about that. So yeah, all in all, it's going to be an interesting bunch of models and warbands. Yeah, I'm always excited for this. You know, whatever you think of the game, Underworlds pretty much has, I guess, some of the coolest sculptors and designers doing it, because they always seem to come up with really fun ideas and unique models, you know, all the time. Like every one seems to be a home run. When I look at them, I'm like, wow, that's great. That's so much fun. You know, so, and I've always enjoyed painting them. Those vampires were a pleasure. And I think as of this week, that should be the last video that has all of them now on the channel. So if you want to see those Underworlds vampires painted, there's a painting video for each of them. So that's really cool. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Please hit the like button, subscribe button. It really helps me out. And I guess I'll catch you on the next one.